The first thing Caleb noticed was the quiet. Not the heavy silence that followed the breakup, but a softer one. A calm that did not demand anything from him. Morning light filled the apartment, touching bare walls where wedding plans once hung. He stood in the kitchen, drinking coffee slowly, feeling present in his own body again. Weeks had passed. Life had not become easy, but it had become honest. Caleb returned to routines with care. Work during the day, long walks at night, music playing low instead of loud. He learned which streets helped him breathe and which memories he no longer needed to visit. Healing did not arrive all at once. It came in small moments when he laughed without forcing it. When he slept through the night, when Marin's name stopped cutting him open. One afternoon, he found the ring box at the back of a drawer. He opened it, looked once, then closed. He knew what to do now. The next morning, he walked into a small jewelry shop near the river. The clerk did not ask questions. Caleb sold the ring without regret. The money felt strange in his hand, like weight shifting from one form to another. He donated half to a shelter Marin once talked about supporting. The rest he saved, not for a plan, but for possibility. That night, he sat by the river again, watching the water move forward without looking back. A voice spoke beside him. It always looks calm, even when it's strong. Caleb turned. A woman stood there holding a coffee, her coat pulled tight, against the wind. She smiled politely, not curious, not careful. "Yeah," he said. "I like that about it." They shared the bench in silence. It felt natural. Her name was Isla. She worked nearby, came to the river to think after long days. They talked without digging too deep. Simple things. Books, weather, the way the city changed at night. When she left, she waved once and walked away. Caleb did not feel sparks. He felt grounded. Days later, he saw her again. This time, she sat beside him without asking. They laughed more. Time moved quickly. When she invited him for coffee, he said yes without fear. They did not rush. They did not pretend. Illa did not ask about his past until he offered it. When he told her the truth, she listened without judgment. No pity, no fixing. "I'm glad you chose yourself," she said. So was he. Meanwhile, Marin moved through her own aftermath. Therapy forced her to face parts of herself she had avoided for years. She learned that love did not disappear in one night, but trust could. She learned that apologies did not guarantee forgiveness. She carried regret quietly, not as punishment, but as understanding. One morning she wrote Caleb a final letter. No pleas, no hope of return. Gratitude for the love they shared and sorrow for the pain she caused. She wished him happiness, meant it, and let him go. Caleb read the letter once. Then he burned it safely, watching the words turn to ash, not in anger, in release. Months passed. Caleb's life grew fuller. He traveled alone for the first time, discovering that solitude could be gentle. He took photos, learned to cook better meals, let himself be bad at new things. He laughed more easily now. His shoulders relaxed. Isla remained part of his life, steady and kind. Their connection grew slowly, like trust built brick by brick. One evening, as they walked by the river, she reached for his hand. He let her. It felt right. Not because it erased the past, but because it respected it. One night, Caleb opened his laptop again, the same one that once broke him. He scrolled through old files, deleted what no longer served him. When he closed it, there was no pain, just memory, now softened by time. He understood something then. That night had not destroyed him. It had revealed him. He had learned the cost of love without honesty. He had learned the strength of walking away. He had learned that endings, when faced with courage, could lead to beginnings that felt real. The river kept moving, so did he. And somewhere in the quiet space between what was lost and what was found, Caleb realized he was no longer defined by betrayal, but by the life he chose after it. Mourning did not heal anything, only made the pain clearer. Caleb stood by the window as the city woke up, watching sunlight crawl across buildings like nothing terrible had happened. He had not slept. His body felt hollow, as if the night had drained him of something vital. Every sound felt sharp. Every thought moved too fast. He checked his phone again. New messages. Marin's last text still sat there, bright and cruel in its sweetness. He did not delete it. He did not reply. He slipped the phone into his pocket and began to move through the apartment with quiet purpose. He showered, letting the water run, hot until his skin burned. He stood there longer than needed, hoping the noise would wash the images away. It did not. When he dressed, he chose plain clothes, like armor. He needed to feel solid by 9. The apartment looked the same, but it felt wrong. He opened windows, made coffee he barely tasted. He sat, stood, paced. Waiting became its own kind of torture. The front door opened just before 10. Marin stepped inside slowly, dragging her suitcase behind her. She looked tired. Her smile appeared for a second, unsure, then faded when she saw his face. "Hey," she said softly. Caleb did not answer. She set the suitcase down. "You're quiet? Everything okay?" The words landed wrong. Everything okay. He almost laughed. Instead, he looked at her, really looked. Her hair was messy. Her eyes were cautious. She was still beautiful, and that hurt most of all. "I saw the live stream," you said. The sentence hung between them. Marin froze. Her hand tightened around the strap of her bag. Her face drained of color so fast it scared him. "What?" she whispered, though she already knew. "I opened the laptop," Caleb said. His voice was calm, almost distant. It was live. "I watched." Marin's bag slipped from her shoulder and hit the floor. The sound echoed. She covered her mouth, eyes filling with tears. "Caleb, she shook her head hard. I didn't mean," he raised a hand. "Don't rush." She swallowed. Tears fell freely now. "I was drunk." Everyone was cheering. It felt like a joke at first. "Swear I didn't plan it." "You kissed him," Caleb said. "More than once." She nodded, shame bending her posture. "I know, I hate myself for it." Silence pressed in. The clock ticked loud on the wall. Outside, someone laughed on the street below. Life kept moving. "I didn't think anyone would see," she said finally. The words struck deeper than she meant. Caleb's eyes hardened. "So if I hadn't seen it, it would be fine." "Kano," she said quickly. "No, that's not what I meant. I wasn't thinking." "It's the problem," he replied. She stepped closer. "Caleb, please. It was one mistake. One stupid night. I love you." She believed that, and that made it worse. "You didn't look like you were thinking about me," he said. "You looked free." Marin flinched. She reached for his arm. He stepped back. "Don't," he said to her. Hand fell. She sobbed openly now, knees shaking. "I'm scared," she admitted. The wedding felt so big. Farah felt heavy. "I panicked." Caleb nodded slowly. "I was scared too. I didn't cheat." She sank onto the couch, folding into herself. "What do you want me to do?" The question was raw, honest. Caleb walked to the table and picked up the envelope he had prepared before she arrived. He had written the letter at dawn, when his mind was clear and his heart was steady in its grief. He placed it in front of her. "What's this?" she asked. "Read it." Her hands trembled as she opened it. Her eyes moved quickly, then slowed. Her breathing hitched. By the end, she was shaking. "You're ending it," she said, her voice barely there. "I'm choosing myself," Caleb said. Marin looked up at him, desperate. "We can fix this. Therapy time. I'll do anything." He believed her. He just did not believe it would change what mattered. "I don't want to watch you promise forever again," he said. Not after seeing how easily it slipped. She cried harder. "I never wanted to hurt you. I know," he said. "That doesn't undo it." She clutched the ring from the envelope like it might save her. "Please don't do this." Caleb grabbed his coat. "I already have." He paused at the door, not to reconsider, but to breathe in one last memory of the life they almost had. Then he opened it and stepped outside. The hallway felt colder than usual. Each step down the stairs felt final dot outside. The city smelled like rain and coffee. Caleb walked without direction, letting the movement carry him. His chest hurt, but it was a clean pain now. Honest. Hours passed. He ended up near the river, sitting on a bench, watching water slide past. His phone buzzed again and again. He did not check it. By afternoon, he felt exhausted, not weak empty. When he returned home, Marin was gone. Her suitcase was missing. The apartment felt larger, quieter. He sat on the floor and rested his back against the couch, letting the silence settle. That night, he slept for the first time since the live stream. Days followed in a blur. Friends called. Questions came. Caleb answered only what he needed to. He went to work. He ate when he remembered. Grief moved through him in waves, sharp. One moment, distant the next. Marin sent messages. Long ones. Short ones. Apologies. Memories. Promises. He read none of them. One evening, a week later, there was a knock at the door. Caleb opened it to find Marin standing there. Eyes red, face thinner. "I just wanted to see you," she said. He hesitated, then stepped aside. She looked around like a guest. "Feels strange." "'Tis strange." He said. They sat across from each other. No touching. No tears this time. "I start therapy tomorrow," she said. "I needed you to know." "I hope it helps," he replied. She nodded. "Do you ever think about us?" "Yes," he said honestly. "Do you ever think about trying again?" Caleb met her gaze. No. She closed her eyes, accepting it at last. "Then I guess this is goodbye." "For real," he said. She stood, paused, then left without another word. Caleb locked the door and leaned against it, heart racing. Ending something did not make it disappear, only made space. That night, he packed away the wedding plans. The photos, the small notes they once exchanged. He did not throw them out. He simply put them away. As he turned off the light, he felt something unfamiliar. Not relief, but peace beginning to grow. The night began with a feeling Caleb could not explain. It pressed against his chest as he stood alone in the apartment. The city lights flickering through the window like distant signals. His fiancée Marin was hundreds of miles away at her bachelorette party, and he kept telling himself that the unease was only loneliness. Weddings made people emotional. Distance played tricks on the mind. That was what he believed, till the silence in the room grew too loud. Caleb poured a glass of water he did not drink. He checked his phone again, even though there were no new messages. Marin had sent a selfie earlier, smiling wide, wearing a white sash that read bride-to-be. He had smiled back then, proud, nervous, excited, all at once. The smile felt like it belonged to someone else. He sat at the small desk by the wall and opened his laptop, planning to distract himself with work. The screen glowed softly. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a small notification appeared in the corner. "Live now, Caleb." Frowned. He did not remember subscribing to any live streams. He moved the cursor closer, meaning to close it, but the title caught his eye. Marin's last wild night. His heart skipped, sharp and sudden. He told himself there had to be a mistake. Maybe someone else shared her name. Maybe it was a joke. Still, his finger hovered, frozen between sense and fear. The room felt smaller. His breath grew shallow. He clicked. Music exploded from the speakers, loud and uneven. Laughter followed, bright and reckless. The screen filled with flashing lights and blurred movement. Someone was filming with a shaky hand, turning in circles, capturing drinks raised high. Glitter on faces, strangers cheering. Caleb leaned closer, his pulse racing. The camera settled, and there she was. Marin stood near the center of the room, Her hair loose, her white dress hugging her in a way Caleb had only seen in private. She looked beautiful. She also looked different. Her smile was sharper, her eyes glossy, her body moving freely to the music like nothing else mattered. Caleb felt relief for half a second. She was just dancing, just having fun. That was allowed. Then a man stepped into frame. He was tall, dark-haired, confident in the way of someone who did not ask permission. He leaned close to Marin's ear, said something that made her laugh hard. Not polite laughter. Real laughter. The kind she used to say for Caleb when they were alone. Caleb's stomach tightened. The man handed her a drink. She took it without hesitation. Their hands brushed. Neither pulled away. The camera zoomed closer. Someone whooped in the background. The music grew louder, faster. Marin swayed, and the man placed a hand on her lower back, guiding her closer. She followed easily, like she had been waiting for it. Caleb whispered her name without realizing it. The man said something else. Marin shook her head at first, playful, teasing. Caleb felt a flicker of hope. Maybe she would step away. Maybe she would remember. Instead, she smiled again and leaned in. Their faces were inches apart. The room around them blurred into color. And noise. Time slowed, stretched thin like glass about to crack. Then Marin kissed him. It was not quick. It was not stolen. It was open, clear, and unafraid. Her hand rested on his chest, his arms wrapped around her waist. They moved together as if the room belonged to them. Caleb's chest burned. He tried to close the laptop. His hands would not move. His mind screamed at his body to stop watching, but his eyes refused to look away. Every second carved itself into him. The camera angle changed. Now the kiss was longer, deeper. Someone cheered. Someone shouted Marin's name. She did not stop. She did not pull back. Caleb felt something inside him tear, slow and painful. He remembered the night he proposed. The way Marin cried and laughed at the same time. The way she said yes before he finished the question. He remembered planning the wedding, choosing colors, arguing over flowers. Dreaming about a small house near the water, all of it felt like it belonged to another life. The live stream continued, cruel in its honesty. The man whispered into Marin's ear again. She nodded. The camera followed as they moved toward a hallway lined with dim lights. The sound grew muffled. Shadows swallowed them. Caleb slammed the laptop shut. The room fell silent, but the images stayed bright and unforgiving behind his eyes. His heart pounded so hard he thought he might be sick. Stood up too fast, dizzy, and gripped the edge of the desk until the floor steadied beneath him. He wanted to scream. He wanted to cry. Wanted to believe it was not real. He opened the laptop again, hands shaking. The stream was still live. Now the camera faced a closed door. Laughter echoed from behind it. Someone knocked playfully. Another voice teased, "Give them a minute." Caleb closed the laptop again, harder this time. He backed away as if the machine might hurt him. He paced the apartment, every step heavy. The couch where Marin curled up on Sundays. The kitchen where they cooked late-night meals. The hallway mirror where they practiced their first dance. Laughing when they stepped on each other's feet. Everything felt poisoned. His phone buzzed. A message from Marin.Miss. Numb. His fingers stared at the screen. Numb. His fingers hovered over the keyboard. 1,000 words crowded his mind, each one sharp and useless. He typed nothing. He put the phone face down on the table and walked into the bedroom. The bed was neatly made. Marin's pillow still smelled like her shampoo. He sat on the edge and pressed his palms to his face, finally letting the tears come. They fell fast, hot, unstoppable. He cried without sound, his body folding inward, trying to protect what little was left of him. Minutes passed. Maybe hours. Time lost meaning. When he finally stood again, his reflection in the mirror startled him. His eyes were red. His face looked older. Something had changed, and he knew it would not change back. He returned to the living room and opened the laptop one last time. The live stream had ended. No apology appeared. No explanation. Just silence. Caleb closed the laptop gently, as if it were something fragile. He carried it to the desk and shut it down completely. The screen went dark, reflecting his face back at him, broken into pieces by the faint light. He sat there until the sky outside began to lighten. Morning crept in slowly, soft and uncaring. Birds started to sing. Cars passed below, people heading to work, to normal lives untouched by betrayal. Caleb did not sleep as the sun rose. One truth settled deep in his chest, heavy and clear. Whatever happened next would change everything. The man he was before that night was gone. And when Maren came home, she would not find the future she left behind. Part one of their story ended there. In the quiet space between night and morning, with a love still warm but already beyond saving,